At 3:25 p.m., a CCTV camera in a narrow lane of Indore captured something painfully ordinary. A boy and a girl walking side by side. She held a simple white poly bag. He was busy scrolling through his phone. No panic, no tension. No sign that within hours this calm frame would turn into a nightmare that would shake an entire city. By 11 p.m. that same night, a message from her phone said she wouldn't be coming home yet. By morning, her family was desperate. By evening, intimate videos were circulating from her own number. And within days, a locked room in Dwarakapuri would reveal a scene so brutal that even seasoned officers struggled to stand steady. This is not just a crime story. This is a story about obsession disguised as love, control disguised as care, and rejection that turned into rage. What really happened between those quiet afternoon steps and that horrifying discovery? And more importantly, let's step into one of Indore's most disturbing cases. At exactly 3:25 p.m., a quiet CCTV camera in a narrow lane of Dwarakapuri captured what looked like an ordinary afternoon. A young couple walking side by side. She carried a small white poly bag. He was focused on his phone, thumbs moving casually across the screen. Nothing about that footage suggested that within hours, on the 10th of February 2026, Khushbu stepped out after meeting her father earlier in the day. He had dropped her near the collectorate for Aadhaar-related work. By evening, she was with Piyush Dhanotia, her MBA classmate. At 11 p.m., her younger sister received a message from Khushbu's phone, saying she would come home later. Her father immediately called. Switched off. He called again. Still switched off. Panic began to settle in. Calls were made to friends, relatives, classmates, anyone who might know her whereabouts. No one had seen her. While her family searched desperately, something devastating was unfolding online. That same night, 11 explicit videos were posted in Khushbu's official college WhatsApp group, from her own number. The boy's face was covered with emojis. The girl's face was clearly visible. It was Khushbu. The college authorities quickly removed the content, but by then it had already been downloaded and circulated. The next morning, Khushbu's father was called to the college. When he learned about the videos, disbelief washed over him. He didn't even know his daughter was in a relationship. Back home, her younger sister revealed the truth. Khushbu had been dating Piyush, a classmate who often visited their house for notes. On the 10th February, she had told her sister she was going to a birthday party with him and would return by 11 p.m. Meanwhile, Piyush was also unreachable. His phone was switched off. Later, Khushbu's phone briefly started ringing. Her sister called repeatedly until someone answered. It wasn't Khushbu, it was Piyush. He said he would let her speak to Khushbu shortly. On 11th of February at 9:30 p.m., a missing complaint was filed at Pandranath police station. The situation grew darker when the same explicit videos were sent to relatives and even uploaded as Khushbu's WhatsApp status. 2 days later, on 13th February, residents of Uncle Gali complained of a foul smell coming from a rented house. The odor was so strong it became difficult to breathe. Police were informed. When officers broke open the first-floor room, they encountered a horrifying scene. On the bed lay the partially decomposed body of a young woman. She had no clothes on. Blood-stained sheets surrounded her. There were beer cans in the room and half-cooked instant noodles on the stove. The body appeared to have been there for more than 48 hours. Identification was made through the socks on her feet. When those socks were shown to her father, his worst fear became reality. It was Khushbu. The room belonged to Piyush Dhanotia. The brutality of the crime shocked even experienced officers. Multiple stab wounds were visible on her chest, so many that one knife had bent from the force. A second knife had been used. Adhesive tape and bloodied fabric were recovered from the scene. A panel of 3 doctors conducted the post-mortem due to the severity of the case. Nearly 12 samples were collected for forensic analysis. Police now focused on locating Piyush. CCTV footage showed him walking with Khushbu at around 3:30 p.m. Later that evening, he was seen leaving alone, carrying a backpack. He was holding 2 phones, presumably his and Khushbu's. Both numbers were placed under surveillance. The location pinged in Goa, then Panvel, then Andheri, Mumbai. On 15th February, with assistance from Mumbai police, Madhya Pradesh police arrested him in Andheri. According to police, when apprehended, Piyush said, "I made a mistake," but his later behavior suggested something unsettling. In custody, he appeared calm. He reportedly asked another accused how much punishment he might receive. He even stated he would continue studying in jail and eventually come out. Piyush came from Mandsaur district. He was the only son in his family with 2 sisters. His father ran a grocery shop. Quiet and reserved, he had recently joined an MBA program in Indore. He met 24-year-old Khushbu during classes. Academic help gradually turned into emotional attachment. They began spending more time together. Projects, calls, late-night conversations. Piyush frequently checked Khushbu's phone. He monitored her chats, questioned male contacts, and even controlled aspects of her digital wallet. During arguments, he had broken her phone once. He allegedly took money from her as well. Jealousy intensified. If she spoke to other classmates, he felt threatened. When she distanced herself for around 15 days before the 10th February, he reportedly became agitated. On the 10th February, during Valentine's week, he called her, promising a surprise gift. Before meeting her, he purchased sexual enhancement pills from a medical store. That afternoon, she went to his rented room. Investigators state that he blindfolded her under the pretext of a surprise, then restrained her. When she resisted, he allegedly assaulted her. He then strangled her. Afterward, he left briefly, bought beer, and returned. Later, he stabbed her repeatedly in the chest. He changed clothes, locked the room, and fled with her phone. From that phone, he edited intimate videos, hiding only his own face, and circulated them. In his bag, police recovered a handwritten note asking, "Is loving someone wrong?" Investigators also found searches related to contacting spirits. Psychologists often refer to extreme reactions to perceived abandonment as rejection rage. Studies indicate a significant percentage of intimate partner homicides. In this case, the progression appears clear. Insecurity turned into possessiveness, possessiveness into control, control into violence. This was not a crime by a stranger. It was committed by someone she trusted. The CCTV footage from 3:25 p.m. shows no visible threat, because sometimes the most dangerous escalation doesn't begin with shouting or visible aggression. It begins quietly, with control masked as care, jealousy disguised as intensity, and love that slowly becomes ownership. And by the time the signs become undeniable, it may already be too late. When investigators began reconstructing the timeline, what emerged was not a sudden outburst, but a slow psychological build-up. Piyush Dhanotia had grown up in Mandsaur district, in what appeared to be a stable, middle-class household. His father ran a grocery shop. He was the only son with 2 sisters. Described as quiet, introverted, and reserved, he did not have a large social circle. In 2025, he insisted on pursuing an MBA in Indore. His family agreed, and he moved into a rented accommodation near the Arvindo area. Initially, he stayed with a roommate. Within weeks, he complained that the roommate smoked hookah and consumed intoxicants. His father advised him to avoid conflict and shift. Piyush met 24-year-old Khushbu during academic interactions. Their first proper conversation happened around late September 2025, during project work. He helped her with assignments, presentations, and practical submissions. Academic dependence gradually turned into friendship. Friendship evolved into frequent calls, then emotional reliance. From the outside, it appeared like a typical campus relationship. 2 MBA students spending time together, sharing notes, planning careers. But beneath that surface, subtle shifts were taking place. He began talking about marriage within months. At one point, he reportedly recreated a symbolic wedding scene in his room, lighting lamps, taking 7 rounds, and placing a Mangalsutra around her neck. In his perception, the relationship had already crossed into lifelong commitment. However, he was not ready to formally involve families. Khushbu, on the other hand, wanted clarity. If marriage was serious, she wanted acknowledgement. She wanted transparency. That mismatch created tension. Investigators later found chat records indicating increasing possessiveness. Piyush would question her about every male contact, classmates, old friends, Even former acquaintances became points of suspicion. He frequently checked her phone. He wanted access to passwords. He monitored her online status. According to her younger sister's statement, he also interfered in her digital wallet transactions and borrowed money from her. 1 month before the incident, during an argument, he allegedly smashed her phone in anger. Later, he took it away under the excuse of getting it repaired. These were not isolated incidents of anger. They reflected a pattern of control. In January 2026, while Piyush was visiting his home in Mandsaur, his father discovered intimate photographs of him with a girl on his phone. When confronted, he initially denied the seriousness of the relationship. His family questioned him directly. Was he in Indore to study or to pursue a relationship? Pressure mounted. Later, Piyush arranged for Khushbu to speak with his father over the phone. His father reportedly advised both of them to focus on their education first. He warned that if distractions continued, Piyush might be called back to Mandsaur. Khushbu reassured him, promising they would concentrate on studies. But emotions do not always obey promises. An argument escalated in public while returning from Khadrana. According to statements, Piyush jumped out of a moving e-rickshaw during the dispute. By early February, communication between them had deteriorated. For approximately 15 days before 10th February, Khushbu had reportedly reduced or stopped responding to his calls and messages. For someone already insecure and possessive, this silence became a trigger. Research in forensic psychology identifies a pattern often referred to as abandonment anxiety escalation. When individuals with fragile self-esteem perceive withdrawal, they may interpret it not as space, but as betrayal. Instead of processing rejection, they experience it as humiliation. Investigators believe that by this point, Piyush was fixated on regaining control. On 10th February, during Valentine's week, he contacted Khushbu again. He told her he had a surprise gift. He went to a medical store and purchased sexual enhancement medication. This detail is critical because it suggests premeditation regarding sexual intent. Around 3:30 p.m., CCTV footage shows them entering the lane leading to his rented room. Once inside, he cooked instant noodles for her. He also brought ice cream. The atmosphere on the surface appeared calm. Then he initiated physical intimacy. She refused, reportedly stating she was not feeling well. At this moment, according to police reconstruction, the situation escalated psychologically. For a possessive individual already fearing abandonment, refusal can be interpreted not merely as no, but as rejection of authority and control. Psychologists term extreme responses in such situations as rejection rage. Instead of accepting her refusal, Piyush allegedly shifted tactics. He told her he had a surprise gift and asked her to close her eyes. He blindfolded her. Then, under the pretext of playfulness, he restrained her hands and legs using tape. When she realized the situation and resisted, investigators state that he gagged her and sexually assaulted her. Following the assault, he strangled her. Strangulation is often categorized in forensic analysis as an intimate form of lethal violence. It requires proximity, sustained pressure, and physical dominance. It is rarely impulsive in duration, even if impulsive in origin. After confirming she was unresponsive, he reportedly left the room, purchased beer from the Futi Koti area, and returned. What followed entered a deeply disturbing psychological territory. Investigators allege that for nearly 2.5 hours, he remained in the room with her body, consuming alcohol. He then stabbed her chest repeatedly, so forcefully that one knife blade bent. He used a second knife to continue. Multiple stab wounds of this magnitude are often categorized as overkill. Overkill is typically associated with intense emotional rage rather than strategic killing. Afterward, he changed his clothes, took her mobile phone, locked the room from outside, and left with a backpack. From the bus stand, he began planning his escape. He purchased a new SIM card. Later, from her phone, he edited previously recorded intimate videos, concealing only his face, and circulated them in her college group. When arrested in Mumbai on 15th of February, he reportedly confessed initially. However, subsequent behavior showed emotional detachment. He asked police about likely punishment. He indicated he would continue his studies in jail. A note recovered from his bag questioned whether loving someone was wrong. Investigators also found online searches about contacting spirits, suggesting a distorted mix of guilt and denial. From a criminological standpoint, this case aligns with patterns observed in intimate partner homicide, driven by possessiveness and ego injury. Studies suggest that a significant percentage of such cases are triggered by perceived loss of control. The progression often follows a predictable arc: jealousy, monitoring, isolation attempts, escalation after refusal, and finally violence. In this case, warning signs were present: phone surveillance, financial control. The tragedy lies not only in the brutality of the act, but in how ordinary it seemed at the beginning. 2 students, a campus romance, a rented room, a surprise gift. And beneath it all, a growing obsession that converted affection into entitlement, and entitlement into fatal violence. When police completed the reconstruction of events, one thing became painfully clear. This was not a crime that erupted in a single second of anger. It was the final explosion of emotions that had been building quietly for months: jealousy, control, fear of abandonment, fragile ego. In forensic psychology, experts often describe cases like this under the framework of any sign of distance feels like betrayal. And when that ownership is challenged, the reaction can turn extreme. For Piyush, this was reportedly his first serious relationship. First time living away from home, first emotional attachment outside his family. In such cases, attachment can intensify quickly, especially in emotionally immature personalities. What begins as affection may morph into dependency. Dependency turns into surveillance. Surveillance turns into control. When Khushbu stopped responding for 15 days, it wasn't processed as space. It was interpreted as loss. When she refused intimacy that afternoon, it wasn't heard as a boundary. It was felt as humiliation. That distinction is critical. Healthy love accepts no. Unhealthy attachment experiences no as ego damage. The violence that followed reflected what criminologists call overkill. These are not actions of strategic elimination. They are emotional explosions. They signal fury beyond the act of killing itself. Even more disturbing was what happened after: circulating private videos, editing them to conceal only himself, uploading them to her college group and family contacts. This wasn't just about silencing her, it was about reclaiming narrative control. Even in flight, he attempted to dominate the story. Then came the conflicting behavior: initial confession, statements about deserving punishment, handwritten guilt-filled notes. But in custody, visible detachment. Casual remarks, questions about sentencing, plans to study in jail. Psychologically, this duality can reflect cognitive dissonance. A person struggles to reconcile self-image with actions. Instead of fully accepting responsibility, they oscillate between guilt and emotional shutdown. But beyond the individual, this case forces a larger conversation. Because the warning signs were not invisible: breaking her phone in anger, monitoring her messages, controlling finances, public emotional outbursts, inability to tolerate distance, treating intimacy as entitlement. These are not romantic gestures, they are red flags. Research on intimate partner violence consistently shows that extreme acts rarely begin extreme. They escalate, slowly. Possessiveness is often mislabeled as intensity. Constant checking is called care. Jealousy is praised as deep love. But love does not require surveillance. Love does not demand submission. Love does not punish boundaries. A healthy partner respects individuality. They do not shrink your world. They do not monitor your interactions. They do not make you afraid to say no. If fear enters a relationship, something is wrong. If you hesitate before expressing a simple boundary because you are worried about their reaction, pause. That discomfort is data. That fear is information. Extreme violence is rarely sudden. It is usually the final step in a pattern that was already forming. This case is not just about one crime in one city. It is about recognizing emotional manipulation before it escalates. It is about understanding that obsession is not passion, control is not commitment, and ownership is not love. The most chilling part? The CCTV footage showed nothing unusual, just 2 people walking. Sometimes danger doesn't announce itself loudly. It walks quietly beside you. If this case made you reflect, I want to ask you something. Have you ever ignored a red flag in the name of love? Or seen someone mistake possessiveness for care? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's have an honest conversation about boundaries and emotional safety. If you found this analysis important, make sure to like the video, share it so more people can understand these warning signs, and subscribe for more in-depth crime breakdowns that go beyond headlines. Because awareness is not fear, it's protection.